I figured out the perfect name for Walter's finishing move.
Go on.
It's Nummer Eins.
Nummer eins?
Number 1.
Number 1. Yes, powerbomb number 1.
Number 1 in German. At first, I Googled how to say number 1 in Austrian.
Yeah.
Turns out Austrian isn't a language. Those that live in Austria speak German. So I just assumed different country, different language.
Oh my god.
Even if it is a Germanic language like Russian, English, German, whatever, but like similar to German but not the same. Kind of like Portuguese is similar to Spanish but not the same.
Correct.
I figured Austrian would be a nope. Austria is a place.
No, they speak German.
When you say Austrian, you're referring to someone or something that is of Austria, but not a language.
Correct.
I'm 33 and I didn't know that Austria speaks.
I was today old.
Yeah. Well, this was actually yesterday or the day before. Like it was a couple of days ago. I looked this up, but yeah, Nummer Eins.
Nummer eins.
Number 1.
Next time I see Walter pull out, I'll be like, Nummer Eins.
Support, no DQ.
Welcome everybody to the NXT party. I am your host, the Rated R reviewer Stephen Osborne, joined as always by the General Jerry Slaughter.
Good evening, wrestling fans.
Tonight we are joined by the Holiday Chris Mace. How are you doing, Chris?
Doing good, y'all.
And we are also with the Cleaver, Colin Andrew. How are you doing, Colin?
Good. What's up, everybody?
Glad you're feeling better, man. We missed you.
Yeah.
Oh, I know, dude. Yeah, it hit me like a ton of bricks, man. It's this lovely Northeast Ohio weather we have going on. It's bipolar as shit.
Oh, we got hit by like briefly yesterday, it seems, because my sinuses were acting all up, and you had like the massive headache from hell. So.
Yeah, everybody gets weather.
Spring's a bitch.
Yeah, everybody gets weather.
I mean, unless you either live at the extreme poles or you live, like, basically, you know, the equator, somewhere that warm, or Australia.
Yeah.
Everybody gets weather, so.
But.
Or if you live in Florida and you get winter for a week at a time, then it's spring for like a month, then winter for a week like I do.
Every year there's cities around the map that experience snow when they never have before. Everybody gets weather. We understand, man, totally.
Yep.
And we're glad you're feeling better, and we're glad you're with us. And let's
Thanks,
get it out of the way
guys.
now. If you'd like to join us for a spot of NXT and be up on the screen, we're looking for some new members to hashtag Team NXT.
Yeah.
Or NXT, just hashtag NXT.
Yeah.
We're looking for new members. So find us on Twitter or on Facebook, and we will give you that information at the end of the show.
Mm-hmm.
But for now, on to NXT UK episode number 33.
Where we return to England. Coventry.
Finally.
Thank God.
Don't get me wrong, it was neat to have them in America, but A, it was in Phoenix, B, the crowd sucked, and C,
The venue was shit.
the venue was shit, yes. I was waiting for a Borg to show up or something.
Yeah, it seems the UK was happy to see them back. This was a pretty good crowd, not the best, but really didn't matter because overall, this card was pretty nice.
Yeah. It was a lot of mid-card talent, but at least they got used in proper ways this time around.
And we got to see a lot of stuff on this show that, personally speaking, I have never seen before. And
Yep.
I hate to reiterate, but that's one of those things I love about NXT UK. But I feel like it's finally coming to the point to where, as I watch it, I don't feel like I'm watching a show to watch 4 or 5 or 3 matches.
Yeah.
I'm actually watching a show. I'm watching a wrestling program.
Well, we have like well-established characters now, and a couple different feuds. Nothing like long simmering. Like you said, like that thought came into your head after watching Toni Storm talk about her fights.
Well, that was right after we got the promo about Travis Banks and Jordan Devlin.
Yeah.
Which is a feud that's been going on for months.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so far, I think it's the longest running feud that we've had on a consistent basis. And
I concur.
We get, I guess, the culmination of that tonight. Because
Mm-hmm.
we actually start off the show with a video recap of the whole Devlin and Banks feud.
Mm-hmm.
And It's NXT. It was a good video package.
Well, they always are. Like the Jordan Devlin on that desolate beach. Well, the saddest looking beach on the planet.
Just looks so not welcoming.
No.
I've never seen a beach look non-welcoming, but that was definitely one.
You haven't seen Lake Erie by my house, then.
Is that really a beach, though? It's a beach at a lake. Is that really a beach? It's more like just sand adjoining a lake.
I mean,
but right
when
after
you
that,
guys go to Toronto, you'll see because you'll cross over in Buffalo. So
I know it's a really big lake, but it's fresh water, right? Like we're looking at salt water as a beach. I don't know.
yeah,
Anyway,
it's fresh water.
let's get the fuck away from beaches.
we lock right into another feud that we've had for a couple weeks.
Just a few weeks.
Yeah.
But it's not like Banks and Devlin.
No, it isn't.
So or Pete Dunne and Gallus.
Oh,
There's another
that
one.
Yep.
But yeah, somewhere amongst all of this, I realized that this has become a show
Yes.
and not just a series of matches. And I really appreciate it. It only took 33 episodes.
Hey, better now than that, you know?
So we start off the show, Ligero versus Joseph Connors, and this is match number 2, and I think it's been going on for 3 or 4 weeks now. 3 or 4 episodes. So that's good. And good match.
It actually was. We saw like a bunch of Ligero's flying maneuvers and a lot of Joseph Connors. There's some pretty innovative stuff in there, like he always does. So, and then they started talking about Cassius Ohno and drawing those comparisons there. So,
Yeah, both breaking shiny new toys in different brands.
yep.
And you suggest them hooking up on the UK brand and joining forces to break new toys.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm okay with that as long as it ends with them breaking up and trying to break each other.
With Cassius Ohno saying it's like one shiny toy left and just throwing that roaring elbow.
You could have Joseph Connors turn it on him, and technically Cassius Ohno would be a shiny new toy to NXT UK because he would be brand new, and Joseph Connors has been there basically since the beginning.
All right, Chris, what'd you think of this match?
I thought it was a pretty damn good match to open the show. I was kind of surprised that Ligero won the match. I was expecting, oh my God, I'm going to go brain deaf now. I'm going to have a brain fart.
Joseph Connors.
I wasn't expecting Ligero to win, but he actually won again, so I was kind of surprised. And I liked the after the match where he went to shake his hand and everything. He just looked at it and just refused and walked out of the ring.
Mm-hmm.
He faked him. Mm-hmm. He went for it and psych, but not the cool way where you swipe your hair back, just the...
You consider that cool?
And so, Colin, what did you think about this match?
I thought it was a good match. I'm a huge Connors fan. I think the dude's badass. Ligero, I don't know. Something about his mask. Can't take him seriously. But I thought
he looks like a pinata.
He does have a good springboard stunner, though. I mean, that's always pretty good. I was surprised he got the 1, 2, 3 on this one as well. Like Chris said, I like the trash talking Connors was doing during the match, especially when he had the what's it called? When he's arms behind, he had a knee pretty much right in the middle of his shoulders down on the mat, just pretty much telling the referee to shut up too, and this, that, and the other. I don't know. Overall, that was a good match. I'm hoping to see number 3 just to finish out any questions asked here sometime soon. So, good way to start the show.
Ligero's got a 2-0 victory here. I don't think there needs to be a third match. If it was
maybe they'll do some stipulation or something. I don't know. We'll see.
I think Ligero will end up going against Cassius Ohno.
Maybe, yeah.
No, we need like just long-term feuds.
Because in that silver, he's definitely shiny.
Oh man,
a shiny new package.
No more about the package.
So, Jerry, what about you? What did you think about this match?
I thought it was a great opening match for the card, and it was like pretty much I had already labeled this like show to be March mid-card madness because we have Travis Banks and Devlin who are solidly like mid-card at this point, and we knew we were getting Joseph Connors and Ligero as well. So I'm like, what other mid-card talent are we going to get in this one? But the match itself was actually very pleasant. Actually, the crowd was actually a lot feeling a lot more than you would for any other crowd. So I enjoyed it. I thought it was a good match. And there's just one move that you and I kept on going back to because we kept on trying to have to name it. So.
So my spot notes here. I started off with what Colin mentioned. I called it a slingboard stunner.
Slingboard stunner.
Because it's not really a springboard. It's not really a slingshot.
Slingboard.
A slingboard stunner for a near fall.
Trademark.
Then Connors had to kind of, I guess, show him up a little. He does a slingshot DDT, so we see Johnny Gargano's finisher.
Yep. Near
fall. So Connors, the move that Jerry was talking about that we couldn't name, he gets a Ligero with a belly-to-back suplex. But mid-suplex, he turns around and turns it into a sit-out facebuster.
Just so cool looking.
Never seen it before. And to start off a show with a move that I've never seen before, it's going to get some extra stars later.
Weirdly enough, I was thinking about it more, and as much as Don't Look Down's a cool move, I think that should be the name of that move is Don't Look Down. So
the pinfall here is something I've probably never seen before either, because we had a tough time naming this. It wasn't just your run-of-the-mill fruit roll-up, because Ligero rolls through into what he almost puts on a crossface, but then almost turns it into a Rings of Saturn, but then rolls through that, and it's like a crucifix or a Mahi straw cradle. But he uses his body, his abdomen, instead of wrapping the arm up in his legs, in a crucifix type pin. Really innovative.
Yeah.
He gets the 1, 2, 3.
I think he needed to do that though to throw Joseph Connors off his game.
There was no way to kick out of that.
No,
that was amazing looking.
I was dizzy just watching it. You can only imagine how Joseph Connors was.
So I really enjoyed this match more than I thought I would. It being a second of 2, possibly second of 3. I don't think I'd mind a third match. I just don't see the point right now, because as was said before, as Chris said, at the end of the match, Ligero is like, "All right, I bested you twice, man. Show me some respect." He goes for the handshake. And I'm sitting here, I dig Joseph Connors as a heel, but I'm sitting here, and he can attest. I'm telling the television, I'm like, shake his fucking hand, man.
Yep.
That wasn't
the same thing.
That wasn't some off the wall or disrespectful win. He rolls you up out of nowhere and just bests you. But he did it twice. The first time with his finishing move.
Crazy for Ligero.
And Connors goes for the handshake, but then just doesn't and walks out. I'm like, okay, I can go with that. That's the next best thing to actually giving him the handshake, because you can remain a heel after a handshake.
Yeah,
it's just a show that you're going to move on to something else. I'm kind of hoping they do move on though. Okay, moving on. We get Tony Storm promo / interview somewhere backstage or outside. They're just getting home from Arizona.
Yeah.
So Tony Storm's out there talking about moving on from Rhea Ripley. Speaking of moving on.
Yeah.
And what's next for Tony Storm? What's next for Tony Storm, Colin?
Obviously, it's going to be Jenny. Jenny's lurking in the background. She's gaining momentum. It's obviously her. That's been my pick. I said that, 2 episodes ago when I was on, I think. So.
We've been aware of Jenny getting built up for this for probably 2 months now.
Since her promos started, what are you talking about?
This was back when Rhea was champ, and it's okay, well, Rhea's got to drop it to a babyface in order for Jenny to actually get the title shot. But in the meantime, they're going to build her up very strong.
That was a sad moment when we actually both came to that conclusion. It's oh, Jenny's awesome. But now Rhea Ripley's going to have to lose the belt eventually.
Eventually is not the word. It was rather soon.
Yes.
But it's okay. That leaves her free to get called up to the main roster. I think she'll probably be the first person out of NXT UK to get called up to the main roster.
So, Chris, do you think it's going to be Jenny first, or do you think Tony Storm's going to do another maybe like television defense before another takeover?
I think it's going to be Jenny. Like I said, she's done with Rhea Ripley, so it's got to be Jenny at this point. They've been building her up, so I agree with Colin on that one now. I think it's going to be Jenny.
Is it just me? Like, I'm guessing it's probably just me because you kind of shrugged it off. But didn't Tony Storm sound kind of heelish in her promo? Like pretty much, she sounded like it's like, well, Rhea Ripley. It's like Rhea Ripley doesn't have her belt anymore. It's like I'm moving on to better things and show that I'm number one. I'm like, you sound like fucking Zach Gibson.
Like, good luck, everybody.
She said, good luck, everybody. Yep. So if you hate Tony Storm, shoes off.
So yeah, Jenny's lurking in the background, and it's perfect visual storytelling because she just got done saying what's next for Tony Storm.
Yep.
And then there lurks.
Out.
Just materializes out of nowhere, and it's really cool. I'm like, let that be Jenny, let that be Jenny, let that be Jenny. It's Jenny.
Just rolling her bag behind her, and you don't hear the wheels. So.
No. The wheels weren't turning.
So up next we have a promo from we get a video package.
Yep, for Mike Hitchman and Jay Melrose, the newly signed Jay Melrose.
So Wild Boar and the Primate. And the feast begins in 2 weeks.
Yep.
Did either one of you guys see the previous match where they were a tag team together?
No, I did not.
I didn't either.
It was actually Jay Melrose's first match in the company was just that tag match with Mike Hitchman, and then he went against Dave Mastiff.
Oh, Mastiff. Yeah.
He went against Mastiff a couple weeks ago. But yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. Okay, yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I did see that.
Mm-hmm.
So this won't be the first time we see them together, but now that he's signed, I guess they are an official tag team.
Yep, and they're going to push him. What are they called, like the Menagerie or some shit?
I wonder if they're going to be heels or faces. It seems like Hitchman's
I'm going heels.
I think they've got enough heel teams. I think they're going to try maybe like start selling the mask and whatnot for kids and whatnot. Like at the
those
booths.
are some ugly masks.
Exactly, but kids lead them up.
Just that Wild Boar get up. Like,
maybe.
Yeah.
I shouldn't say this, but maybe in Britain it's an upgrade.
They have some weird clothes.
I meant the face masks, but never mind.
Oh!
Coming in hot.
It was just a joke. I thought it would be hilarious. Probably wasn't. I'm going to get a lot of hate. But that's okay.
Feel free to leave comments below.
After that was the Gallus promo. We've got all three members of Gallus somewhere backstage. They're lit very well. Like
they look badass.
Yeah, they're lit to look badass. And
somebody got a haircut.
I don't know. I think because of the way that the lighting was hitting him, I think his hair was just pulled up.
It looked like it was all spiked up and like weird looking. So I didn't know if Wolfgang got a haircut or not. Yeah, I think it looks like Wolfgang got a haircut.
Wolfie, as Joe calls him. So this is them just saying that they feel disrespected by Walter and Pete Dunne.
And Mark Andrew and...
Well, they faced them and beat them.
Yeah.
So that was the reference there.
Oh, that was just him saying like we beat these two. Now we're after easy.
They learned that this is our kingdom. Blah blah blah. What did you think about this promo, Chris?
I thought it was a damn good promo. It sets up what's coming up next week, which is going to be really interesting. See how Walter and Pete Dunne work together. See if they can even coexist.
What about you, Colin?
I'm happy with it. I like Alex.
Who doesn't?
I mean, their theme's badass. Their looks great. I mean, brother teams always seem to work great together. But the promo was great. I like the fact that they're like, they better pretty much basically they need to watch out because they're on the menu. It's their kingdom. They need to respect it and learn it, basically, and they're not going to tolerate being disrespected anymore. So, I don't know. It's a solid promo.
What about you, Jerry?
Gallus has always been like menacing. Seriously, from the get go, they've been proven to be a dominant force and everything. But now, like with this like really cool lighting and like the fact that it's almost like Joseph you have Joe Coffey in the middle there, and you have these two that are almost like almost like hellhounds.
Dude, I almost forget how short they are.
Yeah, and like anytime he actually like just needs confirmation of what he's saying is correct, he just turns to one of them, and they're automatically right in his ear. It's like it's like what you're saying is absolutely true.
Yeah, Joe's part of the tag team now, but he is definitely still the leader of Gallus.
Mm-hmm. There's no doubt about that.
So, as Chris said, this is leading to a tag match. Is it in 2 weeks?
2 weeks? No, next week.
Next week.
Next week.
So we'll talk about that more later, because up next we actually get Radzi attempting to interview Walter, asking him about this promo where Gallus says they were disrespected by him. And, of course, what are they going to get from Walter? Fucking nothing.
Radzi also, he pissed himself, dude. He's he's just looking down the entire time, like...
Yeah, Walter's just staring a hole through him, and he looks ashamed for even asking him a question.
That's presence right there. That's almost like back in the day when you tried to ask the Undertaker a question, he would just kind of stare at you. That was it right there.
Mm-hmm.
Colin, what kind of vibes are you getting from Walter?
Oh man, like a heat-seeking missile vibe, you know.
Yeah.
He's gonna lock on you and just chop the piss out of you. Like, I don't know. I'm getting a lot of good vibes. I don't know. Like, I feel he's gonna be a heel.
That's kind of what I'm thinking. Do you think that they're setting us up for an explosive heel turn?
Yeah, I'm thinking something's gonna pop off, and he is just gonna go apeshit on everybody and everything, and take Pete Dunne's reign and end it and dominate UK for a while.
Right on. So do you think he turns heel and then goes for the championship, or does he turn heel after he wins the during the match?
I think he, during the match, turns heel after a significant amount of time in that match. Turns heel, wins the title, and then he's Austrian, right?
Yeah, Austrian.
Yeah.
And he speaks German, by the way.
Yes.
I found that out.
I don't know, just tears everything down and just goes and goes and goes and goes until we find the next big thing in the UK to sign and stop them.
Yeah, I think Pete Dunne needs to get called up.
I think so too. The boy Dunne earned it. That's for sure.
If they're not going to take my idea and let him win both the 205 Live Cruiserweight Championship and the NXT Championship, if they're not going to do that, then yeah, call him up and call him up to Raw.
I'd say either that or at least just bring him back to America and make him succeed Tommaso Ciampa as a champion in NXT.
What about you, Chris? What do you think about all of that?
I'm about to say, like I said, Walter, I think they're doing the best thing with him, keeping him silent, not saying shit, not knowing anything he's doing, what he's playing or anything. They're building him up real good and real strong right now, the way they're doing with his character right now. But I could see him easily turning on Pete Dunne after what Pete Dunne promo was, when he was talking about he could do it by himself. I could see him just trying to take over the match for the most part. Then he finally has no choice but to tag Walter in, and he starts working on the Coffey brothers, and then he ends up turning on Pete Dunne and whooping his ass and leaving him there high and dry.
Sounds like a plan.
I think if there's going to be a heel turn, it'll be after the match is over. I think Walter is kind of like an assassin, almost like a professional killer. Like he knows that the win is important. He will get the win, and then from there he'll dispatch Pete Dunne, and that's going to lead into the match, and he will be a heel in it.
I think he'll get the win because Fabian Eichner and Marcel Bartel come out and help him get the
Oh,
win.
that would be so beautiful.
And he'll fake for a little bit that he had nothing to do with it, but then there'll be a situation like it'll be a tag team match with him and Pete Dunne versus Bartel and Eichner.
Yeah.
And then he'll turn it on Pete Dunne.
I had that idea at one point. But either way,
so I stole it from Jerry.
Speaking of those two,
yeah, we get second match of the night. 4 matches on the card. Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Sam Stoker and Lewis Howley versus Fabian Eichner and Marcel Bartel, the European Union.
These two. I'm talking about Stoker and Howley first. They got a cool look to them. They got a cool gimmick. Seemingly, Nigel was really high on them.
Yeah, he really enjoyed them. Yeah.
The Pirates of the Caribbean.
He just kept talking about how hot they were.
Yep.
All right, Nigel, go boy. So,
like I was like, who are you put these two against? The Eichner and Bartel's music comes on, and we're like, oh hell yeah.
And basically, we were trying to figure out if these two were going to be baby faces or heels. And it's like, well, I guess we'll figure it out.
For us.
And I'm like, okay, so they're baby faces, but they kind of have a heel gimmick, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Colin, what'd you think about the match?
I loved it. Honestly, I mean, the European Union pretty much dominated the whole.
It was a squash.
It was
but it was a
beautiful.
long, entertaining squash.
Yes.
It was amazing. I mean, the leather pants boys got a couple shots off, but besides that, it was just a squash, and I loved it. And that whole, oh god, was he like a the lawn dart suplex?
Yes.
Like, it's nice seeing that 2 days in a row. It's.
Yep.
I like this team. I'm hoping. I can't wait to see them go for the NXT UK tag titles.
Not only are they really good superstars separately, but they have melded and meshed together so well, and they have developed a move set
so
that
quickly too
makes them look like they've been a team for a long time, and they really haven't.
No,
not at all.
Holiday, your thoughts?
I thought it was a damn good squash match. They just beat the shit out of him. I do like their finish where it looks like they're setting up for the power bomb, and then he hits that reverse elbow down onto him. And I was like, damn, that looked like it would kill somebody.
Yeah, it's
an uppercut.
It's a European uppercut off the top rope,
right,
through a last ride.
Yeah, into a last ride by Eichner. Just damn. I've got several spots on this, but Jerry, your thoughts first.
Dude, we've been high on Eichner since he first debuted in NXT UK. So it's one of these things where it's like him added with Bartel. It's just been beautiful. Like their first match even together, they just gelled, and from there it's just like they've just been more and more expanding their moveset and like that whole basement dropkick thing. Like they kept on like fine tuning it to the point where now they're getting drop kicks on both sides, and it looks vicious. And that, and I love hearing Bartel scream 9, which I think I heard like 4 times in that match.
Oh, some very significant spots. That double chop, like across the throat. So yeah, we called this team basically when Marcel Bartel debuted.
Yeah.
We were like, oh, so this is who they're going to put with Eichner.
Yeah.
But we didn't expect this. And I don't know if they've tagged together before, but they look like they have tagged together before.
No, like pretty much, Bartel was just hanging out doing his thing with Walter and Timothy Thatcher in over in England. So Eichner is still kind of new to the fold. So,
but yeah, down to just the moves that they do together, like you said, that they fine tune, because it went from just somebody being hung up in the ropes and then a baseball drop kick by Bartel.
Yeah,
and which were sketchy. Some of them looked good, some of them didn't. Usually it was because of the camera angle, one way or the other, to where Fabian Eichner was holding them there so that he could get a better drop kick in. without like kicking them into oblivion.
Yeah.
And then now we've got it fine-tuned to where they drop kick from 2 angles, so you're not really scrutinizing either angle, because it just looks sick and it sounds sick because somebody's slapping their thigh.
Yep.
And it's just great, and it's probably still going to evolve, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Just based on this team, everything is going to evolve.
Well, they took one of the most, two simplest moves you could probably put together and just make them look vicious every time. That spine buster and that soccer kick from Bartel.
Yeah, so we get all of their greatest hits.
Yes.
And then with the catch from the Eichner catches Lewis from, they're running off the ropes, and he catches him in mid-air and gets him into a power slam. And this is going to pay off later. Thank God he showed that he was into doing power slams.
Yes.
We had the spine buster to Stoker that was followed up by the soccer kick. That's getting more fluid, except I think Bartel had to pause on the ropes.
He paused that time because I think
he came off the wrong ropes.
Yeah.
So, oh well. And then a double basement drop kick. That was great as always. And then the lawn dart into the deadlift catch for the suplex. Problem was, he caught him and fell back a little bit and dropped him down to his chest. And from here, Eichner could not push him back up for the suplex. Instead, had to turn it into a power slam. Still looked great.
Mm-hmm.
If you hadn't seen them do that move before, you would assume.
One more time. And it almost looked like Eichner was actually going to play to the crowd, and that's what kind of threw me. I'm like, did Eichner and Bartel just become the faces in this match?
Are they about to do the lawn dart again? Are they going to redo the spot?
Yeah, I was about to say, it's like, that doesn't sound like something they would do.
No.
And thankfully, they didn't.
Instead, we get the finisher. We get the last ride with the European uppercut. 1, 2, 3. These two look great. And Walter looks great. Just saying.
Ring comp!
You put these
Their
three together.
Music's badass too, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the fact that they come out together to the same music, they are a team.
Matching tights, matching jackets.
Yeah. Which, credit to them, so did Stoker and Howley, but, you know, they're jobbers. They just debuted. This is where they lose.
They like weighed one Eichner together.
It's probably true. Although he was in the Cruiserweight Classic, so at one point he has weighed less than 205, or at least close enough to pretend.
Yeah.
Much like I think they do with the current champion.
Buddy Murphy.
Yeah, there you go. Thanks to your memory. So up next we get a video promo for the Nina Samuels show, and she is going to have a match next. Of course, when they say that, they don't really mean that. But it is really brief. We get a video package for Kaylee Ray here.
Yeah.
Any words about, well, let's save Nina Samuels for the match. Any words about Kaylee Ray, Colin?
I'm just excited to see her show up. That's really about it. I mean,
would you put her with Gallus? I mean, makes sense.
Yeah, why not? They get a
she'd be the female version.
Faction. She can be kind of, a valet, but still compete at the same time. So let's do it.
Stick with her people.
You had the potential of getting all the gold that way.
Yeah, that's true. Tag team championship and women's gold.
Mm-hmm.
What about you, Chris?
I'm just ready for her to debut, but I like that point. She could go with Gallus. I actually like that idea that Colin brought up.
So we get Charlie Morgan versus Nina Samuels.
Who's gay?
Not Nina Samuels. Charlie Morgan.
Charlie Morgan.
But they can't say she's gay. They have to say she's a proud member of the LGBTQ community. Euphemisms.
I was about to say I was a proud member of YABA for the longest time growing up. I'm not a professional bowler.
No DQ Galaxy, you're already on YouTube. When this video is over, Google George Carlin on euphemisms. This has turned the word gay into the euphemism proud member, and you got to say proud. Proud member of the LGBTQ community. And I'm not making fun. My dad was gay. Just saying. I'm a
It's like they
supporter, but
focused on that more
Jesus.
than they actually did the match.
She's gay. She's a lesbian. Say something. Don't turn it into 20 syllables and then you bury the fact that she's just gay. That's all it is. Oh.
There's nothing wrong with it.
But personally speaking, I thought that was hilarious.
I love Nina Samuels though. I think she's doing terrific. I think they finally found something that's actually working for her versus losing every match that she was in for the longest time. And but she's got a hell of a repertoire to her. She's like a lot more like mat-based stuff, but then also like a couple power moves here and there. She kind of reminds me of like a Bianca Belair in that sense. So.
What did you think about Charlie Morgan, the proud member of the LGBTQ community, Chris?
We're going to hell.
At least it'll be warm. What did you think about the match, Chris?
I'm about to say it was an okay match. It was just pretty much to me. It was just filler, waiting for the main event to come on. That was the match I was looking forward to. Just pretty much filler. Nina Samuels won. Like, okay, that's good. That's great. Let's get to the main event.
Oh, one other quick note. Like, usually when they have something like that, like a quick glimpse of a wrestler before another wrestler's match, it usually means they're probably going to get put in a feud with them. Like,
So Kaylee Ray versus...
Kaylee Ray versus Nina Samuels will probably end up happening.
I'm fine with that. I just was watching the match.
Yeah.
Like, I have no notes other than the ending because there had to be an ending. Samuels gets the win, and who didn't see Nina Samuels winning? She just had the promo package, and that Death Valley driver over her knee.
Yeah.
That's the finish. 1, 2, 3. I enjoyed watching it.
I called it the showstopper.
Sure. So it was an okay match. Like Phil, they can't all be great.
No.
So up next we get an interview with Pete Dunne about, of course, what Gallus had to say about him and his disrespect. Colin. Oh wait, you didn't get to talk about Charlie Morgan.
I thought Nina Samuels was good too, but it's fine. We can. It's cute.
I mean, you're the man with the notes. I mean, I thought I had notes. I mean, do you have any notes from this match other than the finish?
I mean, not too much. I mean, it was, back and forth a little bit in the beginning. It kind of let Charlie Morgan, that was her name, right? Yeah.
Yeah, Charlie Morgan.
Like, it kind of let her, show a little bit, but not too much. And then, of course, Samuels is going to win. She's had the vignettes for how many weeks now? But I liked the finish. As soon as I saw it, I just thought of Ty Dillinger. But, R.I.P. big man. But, no, I mean, I thought it was a decent match. It wasn't anything to write home about, but it wasn't complete.
Or write about in general.
Yeah.
We'll see what they keep doing with Samuels. You know what I mean? So, hopefully more to come in the next coming weeks.
Well,
yeah.
It was something to write about. I've got 2 lines. I've got the names of the wrestlers and the finish of the match.
Had to make mention.
Yeah. So about
didn't want to offend anyone.
About Pete Dunne and Gallus. What'd you think about that, Colin?
I mean, I've liked anything that they've done so far, so I'm just excited to see shit hit the fan.
Pretty much.
It was awesome last time. It's going to be good this time. It was good back in indie days. It's kind of like a peanut butter and jelly. It's always good. So, why not?
And Chris?
It just gets me excited for the match next week of Coffee Brothers versus Pete Dunne and Walter. Like I said, I just want to see when Walter will turn, whether it's going to be after that match or during the match or whenever, but I just expect he's going to turn next week. He's going to beat the shit out of Pete Dunne and go after that title.
Yeah, after this interview with Pete Dunne, we get an announcement of a Johnny Saint tweet, and this is where it becomes official that next week we're going to get that tag match. Jerry, who do you see winning?
Well, like I said, I see Pete Dunne and Walter winning, but at the same time, I see Walter beating the shit out of Pete Dunne afterwards, or possibly Eichner and Bartel coming out there and doing it for him. Who knows? Like Pete Dunne will be walking back up the stage with Walter still in the ring or something. Then Eichner and Bartel attack Pete Dunne from behind, and Walter just looks kind of shocked, or not really even shocked, just like kind of like has his head tilted in the ring, as if he didn't know what was going on. But at the same time, you're thinking, well, maybe he did.
What do I care? What do I care?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like he does the Pete Dunne shrug as Pete Dunne gets beat down. How fucked up would that be?
So, Chris, who do you think's going to win that match?
I think I'm going to go the opposite. I think the Coffee Brothers are going to win. I think what's going to happen is Pete Dunne's going to try to wrestle a match by himself for the most part, so he absolutely has no choice. Has to tag in Walter. He'll do something for a few minutes and just turn around and just start beating the shit out of Pete Dunne and just leave the match. That's what I'm thinking is going to happen. That's what I'm going to go with for next week. It might be a long shot, but that's what I'm going with.
What about you, Colin?
Seeing Walter and Pete Dunne picking up the victory, I'm seeing conflict, but I'm not seeing any hands thrown yet.
Nobody's gonna get those hands.
I'm not seeing any punches, but I'm seeing conflict.
Where's your crystal ball, man? You sound like a
You should have a Magic 8 Ball or something sit in front of you.
I'm seeing conflict, but not yet.
Wild cherry drink, that's it. That's really about it.
Brought to you by Fanta.
Fanta, right? Fanta.
The cleaver, the fortune teller.
Yep.
Colin Andrews.
Right.
Cutting to the chase. Yes, because he's a cleaver.
So, we have not even heard rumors about a second NXT UK takeover.
No.
And if you're going to have Walter versus Pete Dunne, you're going to do it at an NXT UK takeover.
Yeah.
So we're not pulling the cord on this feud just yet.
No.
So I think Pete Dunne and Walter win. I think they look like badass baby faces at the end of the show, and nothing happens yet. I think that's just how that's going to happen. It's going to leave us wanting to see the point where Walter starts going after Pete Dunne, because he's the fucking champion.
Yeah.
And everybody should be going after Pete Dunne. Why is he so surprised that people have a problem with him? He's carrying the gold.
So after that, we have a major question to ask. What the fuck is Jeff Jarrett doing over there?
Yeah, that's what I want to know.
Maybe he was just visiting England.
I don't know. Maybe does he have what kind of contract does he have now? Is it a Legends contract? Is it a
I don't know. He did a match in the ring, so it's not just.
That's what I'm because he had that match with Elias.
I'm thinking it's an ambassador thing, kind of like
he's in
the Royal Rumble,
trying to work with some talent, showing people the strut. I don't know, doing karaoke bars with my baby tonight. Who knows?
Everybody knows Jesse James saying that.
Chris.
Song.
What do you think Jeff Jarrett was doing there?
I don't know what Jeff Jarrett was doing there. Hope to God he's not there to try to have a match in NXT UK. I'll be like, what the fuck?
Why?
I see him try to bring some people over, possibly do a takeover there, kind of like.
Do you think it's like NXT TakeOver, where when you see a star in the crowd, that means they're joining the brand? Oh, that's no.
Hailing from Nashville, England.
From Nashville, Liverpool.
Nashville, Liverpool.
Yeah, little Nashville and Liverpool.
That's what he was. He's trying to relive the Beatles thing.
So up next, we are on to the main event. And in this case, it is the aforementioned Travis Banks versus Jordan Devlin. Falls count anywhere. This gets the last 20 minutes of the program.
Yeah, which is pretty long for a match, even by their standards. Usually we get about 15 minutes.
And they still managed 3 matches in the span of that less than 40-minute block. So they did really well for this show. So far, so good. What did you think about the main event, Colin?
I loved it. It was badass. I loved the Falls Count Anywhere stipulation. I loved how it started on the ramp and didn't even get into the ring before shit popped off. Right into the crowd. They went up that stairwell and over into the crowd, and Travis Banks and Jordan Devlin going at it, and Devlin gets over the side, is just hanging by his hands. Banks wraps his hands, he falls like a good 15 feet, maybe 10 feet, right to the floor, and Banks jumps off that onto him.
They didn't catch the landing at all with the camera.
No, with the cameras at all. No, it was horrible. But I mean, you can just picture it. It's
you have to
use your imagination.
I think they had to pay it away that way. It didn't show Devlin landed on his feet and then and then laying down afterwards all prone.
Yeah. No, I thought it was awesome. The Spanish fly through the table at the end, awesome. Haven't really seen that in a while, so I thought it was a great match overall. I mean, these two have had such a feud in NXT UK, and it needed to come to head at some point. And this was a good stipulation to do, because honestly, you don't see too many Falls Count Anywhere matches anymore, which automatically rules in it's no disqualification, so you can do whatever the hell you want. I thought honestly it was a good way to end the show, and hopefully a good way to hopefully after this feud's done. But
sadly,
both men had a hell of a match. So Devlin, I was happy with Devlin picking up the win. I mean, he's the heel, he's the Irish ace. He is the best mid-carder in that brand.
Mm-hmm. So absolutely.
Yeah, he is the European champion waiting to happen.
In our hearts, he's the European champion.
Yeah. He's our European. Bring it back. Come on, guys.
Yeah.
European
perfect mid-card title for that brand.
Yeah.
Chris,
Triple H, if you're watching this, do it.
If anybody that knows Triple H, Paul Levesque, that's his name. If you know that guy, you
look
should
him
tell
up.
him that we suggest. Anyway,
or
Chris.
even Michael Hickenbottom.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah, that guy. Mm-hmm. So, Chris, what do you think about the main event?
Alright, first two things is, that's like I said, I've been pissed off ever since episode 27 when they had that bullshit finish. I was so fucking glad this match came to a damn finish. This match it was the perfect stipulation for this match. I thought for sure Banks was going to end up pulling it off. It surprised me. I liked how, like I said, Devlin should be the reason they have a mid-card title. That man is fucking the MVP of that damn show. That man should have already been a mid-card champion. If they had the European title, he should have already been the European champion already. That man, that match was fucking badass. Everything about it, when they're fighting through the crowd, fighting in the ring, using psychology, using that steel chair to hit Banks in the shoulder, working on the shoulder. Banks getting his comeuppance when Devlin was trying to do the same thing to him. They injured him the first time, and actually Banks was able to do it to him. But just that Spanish fly through the table and that finish, that was fucking a badass finish.
Now, I've got a page of notes on spots on this match. But before I get to those, Jerry.
It's pretty much what I thought it was going to be. Like, the action was all over the place. You and I had the same frame of mind. This match ends in a ring. That is just bullshit. Like, it needs to end in the stands. It needs to end on the outside. Hell, it needed to end through the table. We actually thought Ireland's call through the table. But we got something so much better. So
because Devlin had been trying to land this Spanish fly, and he did it at least twice and tried and failed. Mm-hmm. But I'll get to that.
Yep. But otherwise, I thought the match was actually for what it needed to be to possibly end the feud and to keep things moving along and to just more or less end things, because I was even like wondering if Travis Banks is even going to make it to a match since he's so like injury prone. But so the match actually went off pretty well.
So I start my notes at the beginning, actually, first time in a long time, because the match starts on the ramp. So this immediately hammers home this is Falls Count Anywhere, which means the match can start anywhere.
Oh, and kudos to Drake for his ability to dive out of the ring to make the counts.
I would say half or more of this match was done in the ring.
Yeah,
and that's why I said, and Jerry said, there was no way this should end in the ring. There's a reason it's Falls Count Anywhere. For God's sake, I know you're a new brand, NXT UK. I know this is your first Falls Count Anywhere, but for God's sake, don't have it end in the ring. Just pointless. So, my first actual spot is what Colin mentioned earlier when they climb up into the risers and Devlin gets knocked over the rail and he's dangling there and then drops because fucking Banks smushes his hands.
Yeah.
It was great. And then Banks jumps off of there, kind of a crossbody, more like I'm just going to jump on you, please catch me and don't let me die.
Right.
that's how it was. It was a Hail Mary.
And he gets a near fall out of it, but you knew he wasn't going to get a pinfall because it's literally like the beginning of the match. They start off big, and then they bring it back to the ring, and they slow it down. And we had Banks do a super kick onto Devlin, who falls to the outside, and then grabs a chair. So when Banks comes out for the tope suicida, he gets knocked with the chair. That was great. We saw part 1 of Devlin's greatest hits. That's the Uranagi into the standing moonsault. And then Devlin goes for the Spanish fly off the apron. But Banks holds on, and so when Devlin does the Spanish fly, he ends up landing on the chair on the outside.
Yep.
On his knees. And this is where they start talking about now he's got injured knees.
Mm-hmm. The tables had turned.
But then Banks comes off with a double stomp onto Devlin's back. I think they get back into the crowd calls for tables. So while Devlin's in the ring recuperating, Banks fucking pulls out a table and sets it up. So we know we're going to get a table spot, hopefully. And then Banks drop kicks Devlin into the ref. And this is the turning point in the match.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, the ref is Drake, and it's like, oh, you can't take a bump, Drake?
I was about to say, the dude needs to go through glass tables and barbed wire on a weekly basis. Yeah, he gets knocked into once, he's incapacitated for about 5 minutes.
Yeah, because off of this, Banks flips Devlin out of the corner, like one of those flip backwards. And Devlin lands on his bad knees, and then as soon as he gets up, he catches a knee to his face into the Kiwi...
Kiwi Crusher.
Yeah, the Kiwi Crusher. But there's no ref to count the pinfall. And so the crowd, as good as they are...
They count to 11.
Yeah. And this distracts Banks. Devlin gets up, and when Banks goes to pick him up, he ends up eating a headbutt. This turns the match around. And Devlin hits a moonsault, gets a near fall. By this point, now Drake's to the point to where he can slide into the ring real quick. Count the near fall. So Devlin goes for a Spanish fly off the top rope. That gets countered, so we think we're going to get a Kiwi Crusher off the top rope. But no, that gets countered, and then it's just a superplex. But Devlin rolls through the superplex. Like he's going to hit another one, or maybe he's going to do a Seth Rollins and hit a Falcon Arrow. But this is where Banks counters that into a Kiwi Crusher. Again, near fall.
Mm-hmm.
The match is not over. So now they're both down, and they start tearing off the tape off of their right wrists, and now it's time for the breakdown.
Never gonna get it, never gonna get it, never gonna get it, never gonna get it.
They both get up, and they go for kind of punches, kind of palm strikes, but at the same time, as hard as they can, and they both hit at the same time, and you can hear it echoing through the crowd, and they're both rocked. But then they shake it off, do it again as hard as they can. I mean, this is as hardcore as a breakdown gets.
Mm-hmm.
Devlin comes off the ropes, and he goes to do something to Banks, but Banks had dodged, went to the corner, comes off with a Slice of Heaven. But Devlin rolls outside, but even commentary is like, duh, it's a Falls Count Anywhere. You could roll outside and still get pinned.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I think he's just trying to generate a little bit of distance, if anything.
Well, it works, because Banks comes up to him, and Devlin pulls his legs out from under him and goes for a pinfall outside, uses the apron, throws his legs up on the apron. It's all legal. Ref goes for the pin, near fall. So Devlin runs into the steps. He's going for the chop block to try and duplicate what he did to Banks before, where he chop blocked his knee into the steps. Well, Banks gets out of the way, So he goes into the steps, and this is where Banks starts stomping on his leg, trying to duplicate what he did to him before to injure his leg. And he does the double stomp to the knee off of the steps, and then goes for the ankle lock on the outside. And then Devlin counters the ankle lock, rolls through, throws him into the barricade. See, I know this is long, but these are some good spots. And then they both get onto the apron, and this concludes the match because Devlin pushes Banks into the ring post. When he comes back, he gets him perfectly set up, Spanish fly through the table. 1, 2, 3. And that's my page's worth of notes. Let me take a breather, man. What a fucking match.
Yeah.
Like, wow.
Great match.
And around these parts, we rate the main event on a system based on spots of tea. Believe it or not, a British show that's about tea. So let's go with Chris first. Out of 5 spots of NXT, where do you rate this main event?
I'm going to give it 4.5 out of 5.
So I was about to say, that's reasonable.
Yeah, for that, absolutely. Colin?
4.25.
Still above a 4.
Oh, yeah.
Still says great match. Jerry?
You know me. I've wanted this feud to end. I'm not high on Travis Banks. Super high on Jordan Devlin, actually, and I think he should be doing better at this point. But for this match, for what needed to be done, for the spots, and for the killer Spanish fly at the end, I'm going to go 4.25 as well. Like, it actually got me... It took me a while to actually get invested, and now I actually got invested into that match, and that actually helped, especially with, like, how it's almost like comeuppance, because you had Jordan Devlin being injured almost in the same way as Travis Banks was. So there was like that almost not really irony to it, but just the feel of retribution. And even though Travis Banks lost the match, Jordan Devlin still came out looking strong, and both of them looked busted up at the end because the skin was broken, and
yeah, that table did some damage.
That table was very unforgiving. Kudos to you British people for your strong tables.
It wasn't as bad as Hardcore Holly, but it was pretty bad.
Oh, that gash was horrible.
Oh, God.
Oh,
yeah.
Him versus RVD. I remember that match.
So, you know me.
You're all about the story.
I'm all about the story. Everybody out there knows. And this match was nothing but story. And it has probably the longest feud build story-wise of anything on NXT UK right now. And this is the culmination of that. This was a great match. It was a Falls Count Anywhere, first time ever, and they made use of that early on. They didn't even start some slow match. This match got off the ground really quickly.
Yeah.
And it just stayed there. I mean, they leveled off for a while when they got in the ring.
There's that intensity right at the beginning. So, yeah.
So, based on all of that, great match, end of the feud, everything else, I would give this 4 3/4 spots of tea.
Wow.
But you also know that I am prone to an extra quarter spot for a great I'm going to give this main event 5 spots of tea.
Wow.
Wow.
I don't think it was perfect, but combine it with the great show and perfect score. 5 spots of tea.
I'm about to say the setup for the next show and or for the next 2 weeks is just superb at this point too. So,
Colin, what do you have to plug, my friend?
Follow me on Twitter. Follow me on Instagram at Colin26Andrew. Follow Aftermatch Wrestling on YouTube. I believe they are at 51 or 52 subscribers right now.
54!
53?
54?
Yeah,
Oh, man.
53 or 54?
It was like 51 or 52.
I bet you by now it's
hell yeah.
54.
Yeah.
But,
Probably by the
yeah,
time they're watching this, it'll be close to 60.
Right? Support
I mean,
this channel.
it's been moving
Support
that fast,
ODQ.
honestly.
It all kicks ass.
Yeah.
I'm going to plug Noah Foster real
Yes.
quick. 205 Live Matters.
Simple
Check
man.
his channel out. It's some good stuff over there. Keeping
Simple
it
as that.
simple, keeping it real. Thanks again, guys, for having me on. Always a wonderful time.
Support wrestling big and small, and let's all help grow this wrestling community together.
Simple as that.
Simple as that. Chris, where can we find you?
You can follow me on Facebook at Christopher Edward Mace. Like I said, support Aftermatch Wrestling. Like I said, we're trying to get to 100 subscribers so we can start doing these videos live. Support NoDQ.com. Support the Simple Man. Support Noah Foster at 205 Life Matters. There you go.
Yep. Support No DQ. Go to nodq.com/shirts and buy a shirt. Actually, the easiest way to support is just word of mouth. Tell people about it. Tell people about No DQ. Tell people about Aftermatch Wrestling. If they like wrestling, they might like watching us. You never know. And it'll help us get subscribers.
If you really like us, you can subscribe clicking below me.
Yeah, if you like the video, click the like button that's below me. And if you want to get these videos like a half a day early, you can follow Aftermatch Wrestling. That's all one word, AFTERMATCH Wrestling, on our goal to 100 subscribers where we start doing live shows. And we do have some exclusive content. After this show goes off the air, we're going to record some more of that.
We keep on talking.
Yeah, we just like to talk about wrestling.
We do.
And it's all rated R, it's all restricted. Don't let your kids watch because we drop a lot of fuck bombs. Drop a whole lot of fuck bombs, I'm just saying.
Earmuffs.
Especially when Noah's on and he's pissed. Wow. He puts me to shame. But speaking of Noah being on and these two gentlemen up here, as we mentioned earlier, we want some new guests. So if you'd like to join us on an episode of the NXT party and have a spot of NXT with us and help us review an episode of NXT UK, you can find me on Twitter. Just go to nodq.com/Stefan. That's STEFAN. Or if you just want to look me up on Twitter, it's at Stefan R. Osborne, OSBORNE. As always, the R stands for restricted. You can also find this gentleman on Twitter
at NoDQ General, and also my Facebook group Armbar, all capital ARMBAR, exclamation point.
Nice. I love it.
Love it.
Brilliant.
Just join up. We always have different memes, different discussions, all sorts of different stuff going on, all sorts of different content every day. You'll find a whole bunch of No DQ Galaxy folk on there, and these fellows as well, because they're part of No DQ NXT team.
Yep.
And yeah, that's us.
So like, share, subscribe, and that little bell over there underneath Jerry's left knee, that's going to let you know when these videos go live. So if you're on Aftermatch Wrestling and you're watching this video, click that bell because our videos go live at really weird times. So if your phone doesn't let you know, probably your homepage won't.
If you don't have Twitter or Facebook, just leave a comment below if you want to be part of the show, or if you have any questions for us, we can go ahead and take care of those for you. And also, if you want to be on the show, be sure to have Skype. Skype is very, very important.
Yep. Other than that, all you need is an email or something. Just leave a comment down below and let us know where we can get a hold of you if you don't have Facebook or Twitter. That's okay. That's how we got Chris up here. Good old-fashioned email, baby. So, for the holiday, Chris Mace. For the Cleaver, Colin Andrew. For the General, Jerry Slaughter. I am the Wizard of No DQ, Stefan Osborne. Thanks for having a spot of NXT with us, and we will see you in NXT time.
All right, have a good night, y'all.
Later.
Support No DQ.